Rahal and they
I'm still not on track, so I have no. You're gonna have to elaborate on what
uh
happened.
somehow Rahal crashed on the main straight. Books crashed on the 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 final corner of sector 2, and Constant Jet must have went into the back of Rahal. So now we've got a safety car that's been deployed. And it's still relatively the same up front with Whippy, Tom, Snake in the top three positions, whereas the fourth Schold is in fifth. Many Turbo, Collie Boy, Boofy are in the pits.
See if we can get Books, Ray Hall, and Constant Jet into the party then, and see if they can tell us what happened from their perspective as well.
Yeah. I think it was Ray Hall. No, Constant Jet went into Ray Hall. I don't know what happened to Ray Hall, to be honest. Books crashed it on his own, I think. At the last corner of sector 2, that tight left-hander. So he went into the wall there on the right wall there.
Well, the track is most definitely completely cleared up at this point, at least. It is definitely a fully green racetrack in terms of rain, although it's yellow in terms of racing right now. Now, note, everyone, because of the struggle to get clean, fresh wings and put on tires, everyone is running 2 stops right now, and I think a lot of them we may see make another stop before we get too much farther into this race.
Ray Hall hit the pit wall going into the pits, he said. I think his car must have reappeared on the track, and I think that's how Constant Jet got crashed out as well. But really dramatic scenes there.
Right now, the entire field is trying to get properly gathered together. And for those of you who were watching, I apologize. Technical difficulties of the worst kind. My Xbox just completely killed itself and took multiple attempts to try and get it started back up the way it should be.
And like when you just came back as well, that whole bunch of incidents just occurred, and it was quite weird. As well, Snake could be in quite good contention here. He's on the softs, and with the safety car, could be in a good proposition of maybe winning the race, could be.
This is the last thing that Whippy wanted to see, because at least when I left, Whippy had a good gap on everyone behind him. Now he's going to have to deal with Tone and Snake having both, yes, his fresh tires, Snake on softs, and DRS will be a thing as well. And LUX just got a penalty for a collision with Drake, apparently. By don't know how accurate that is or not because both of those cars look absolutely fine. I don't know if Fratters is going to make it to the back of the field before this lap because I really don't think that's going to happen. But everyone from Boothie on up will be gathered together properly. I'll be interested to see if they go green this lap or not.
Yeah, El Yoy, it's in the middle of the field. He's a lap down, so he's in a weird proposition right now because he's like in between a bunch of cars. He's sandwiched between the two house cars as well, RB Lama and Anon Drake. Nope, safety car's not coming in this lap.
So they will wait another lap so Fratters gets a chance to catch the back end of the field. Gusty, I'm just going to say this, Gusty might want to consider jumping in and putting on some soft tires if he thinks that he can avoid the carnage that will inevitably come on the restart. Because right on those hards, he's not going to be faster than anyone ahead of him.
Yeah, and he will not lose as much time as well with the whole safety car as well. But he is staying out.
Well, I will say this, Gusty right now is 9th. That is the points pay position. If he was to pit, then he would fall all the way to 14th, maybe even 15th, and would be out of the points pay positions.
He's gone. He's went into the wall. Trying to catch up to the field, and he's out of the race.
Well,
and Turbo's
that's the thing that happened.
Turbo's gone into the pits for the softs. So now 14 drivers remain.
Turbo will be able to catch the back of the field before the end of this lap, so we should still go green this lap once they get Fratters' wreckage pulled off the race course. Has brought that Ferrari up into the 4th position, so while his teammate was the first driver to go out, Mazda is putting on a strong representation for the Ferrari team right now in 4th.
Mazda's not really had the best of luck at Baku this week, but he'll be happy to top it up, like to get P4 in X3.
If things go right, he might be able to get a podium. He might get run into the backup like he did earlier today and get knocked off his lane and lose a bunch of positions. It's so...
This race has been like topsy-turvy. Like,
yeah. The crazy thing is, this is still nowhere near as crazy as the X3 race here last year. I mean, granted, we still have a bunch of laps to go. Things could still happen, but
safety car's coming in this lap.
I wonder what kind of engine they put in that Mercedes AMG safety car that enables it to pull away from the field so quickly like that. Renault in position.
Oh, Coley boys went to the back of Fritz.
Oh, and that's not going to be good. There's a massive stack up here.
This is not going to end well.
Oh, this isn't going to go well at all because Whippy has gathered the entire field up amongst each other. I don't think we're going to be clean going through the first few corners.
Hold on. Oh, what's happening here? There's a bump.
The camera angles are complete crap, so I have no idea what's going on back there right now. Lama and Scholl are fighting for 5th and 6th right now, neck and neck going to turn 2.
Hold on, Drake lost a bunch of positions. He was at P7 before with the safety car, now he's 11th. Not the best of restarts for him.
He's jumped into the pit so that way he wouldn't factor in to the battle between the lead lap cars. Now Scholl and Lama are neck and neck again, and this time it looks like Lama's going to be the one ahead of Scholl as we're coming to the end of Sector 1. Snake in the Renault, all over Tome in the Red Bull right now. Retro is right on the back of Shoal, and Fritz is on the back of him. And then you go back a little bit further. Unarmed Drake has Boothie putting some heavy pressure on right now for this high-speed castle section. I'd be interested to see if Boothie tries to make a move here in the braking zone. No, he thinks better of it.
He does have that long main straight to have the best opportunity of overtaking Unarmed Drake. He will have to use the slipstream and driver skill and the exit alone. No DRS available just yet. In fact, no virtual safety car has just been deployed.
What for?
No one's crashed. The Snake's gone into the pits.
Snake has hit the wall on the straight. So Snake,
that's just on the podium.
Yeah, Snake. Oh wow, that got crazy. And Collie Boy is pitting as well now.
He had no front wing.
Damage. Yeah, like I said, Snake hit the wall on the main straight in the curves that were on the main straight. Knocked off the front wing. We're back underway now, though.
Must have been a pretty heavy impact then with the wall. We're back underway again.
Tom trying to figure out some way to close in by more than a second on Whippy. And now that he doesn't have that other Renault pressuring him from behind, it's going to be his best chance to do so. Whippy is being very, very cautious through the castle section.
RB Llama's P4 has made 4 pit stops. He does have 5-second time penalty. Unarmed Drake's climbed 9 positions this race, and P9. But Boofy is on the back of him right now. Boofy does have the speed over Unarmed Drake, but just doesn't have the room to pass him. He will have that main straight. Hopefully this time he can get the move, unlike last lap where there was a virtual safety car.
Llama's gonna make the move potentially on Ozda under braking going into turn 1. He's looking on the inside now. This is where it comes.
Boofy's made contact with Unarmed Drake, and Boofy's lost a bit of his front wing. Turbo's made a move on Unarmed Drake. He's in P10, so. But Boofy will definitely not be happy with that. Staying front wing damage. He probably he's continuing on with the right end plate. Listen.
Ozza just got back in front of Llama, and Tome is there on Whippy now. Tome within about half a second of Whippy. Whippy continues to be very cautious going into Castle Corner. Farther back, Gussie is right there behind Boothie. But both of them have wing damage right now, trying to navigate through Castle section. Looks like they'll get through it this time at least. But they might want to consider pitting, considering that all of these cars either have wing damage or at high threat of having wing damage here.
Especially those tricky few corners in the last sector, it's really hard to navigate, especially with front wing damage, because 100% you will understeer on the first on the left-hander, which will most likely put you in the wall for the right-hander.
Llama has just gotten back by Ozda again on the main straightaway. I'll be curious to see if Ozda is going to try and fight back on the short backstretch.
Boofy's gone into the pits, and he's just made more contact with the wall, heading into the pits. So, the 3 yellow flag. Collie Boy's causing yellow flags. I think he keeps having collisions with the wall. Will as to keep him the 5-second gap of RB Llama. I
think that penalty that Llama has will probably get removed post-race, because it's more often than not, the contact that the game thinks happens between two drivers under safety car doesn't actually happen, and I imagine that will probably get removed. So that was probably a overtake for actual position here.
Yep. Paulie Boy's just made his 6th pit stop of the race, and he's now P13. What pit stops we're seeing this race, of course, with the intermediates and dries.
Alright, this is going to get interesting because this time, Tome is within a second of Whippy, but Tome also has Llama right behind him.
Oh. Turbo's on the back of Gusty, and Drake is also involved.
Here we go, for the lead, Tome has DRS, he's right there behind the Renault. He looks to the outside, going down the straightaway.
Oh.
And Tome to the top. But for how long? Because Whippy now has DRS to fight back with, going down the back straight. It's not gonna matter. Tome's opened up a gap. No, I take that back. Whippy is gonna make the crossover move now, going down to turn 3. But can't make it stick. And now it's Llama's turn. Whippy made a mistake, and Llama is neck and neck with Whippy. Move Llama up into potential second here. And Ozza is now going to factor into this. And Tome is gone. Tome has already opened up nearly a 2-second gap. So it looks like this is going to be Tome's race to win now, unless he makes a massive mistake. Whippy bounces off the wall again, and now they go up through Castle.
Is that 2 races now where Whippy was looking likely he could win the race, and things have like really hampered him from winning?
Yeah, that's 2 races in a row, but I think
such
Whippy
a shame
would much rather
for him.
prefer it happening like this rather than the game disqualifying him for bullcrap.
It's a shame though for him, because I think he will deserve it.
Turbo's trying to make something happen with Gusty right now, going through the top of the racetrack. Now they go through those 2 downhill hard braking zones, but the interesting part's going to be, is Ozza going to be able to utilize DRS on Whippy ahead of him? He's got DRS. Whippy has DRS though on Llama. This is going to get really tight here at the end of the straight.
Snake's
Whippy's going to look for it, but can't make it happen.
Snake managed to get past on Drake before the main straight. So that's putting him to P10. So Renault are getting some of those turbos managed breezed by Gusty in P8.
Whippy was able to use the DRS to stay right there on the back of Llama for now. But Whippy needs to figure out some way to get by Llama. Also, despite the pressure that Whippy's putting on Llama, Llama is actually closing the gap back down on Tome. There's a chance that Llama might be able to catch Tome before this race is over. Ozza is so good right now through the first third of the racetrack, and then kind of drops off once they start getting to the faster portions in Castle and then the main straight itself. Llama within 7/10 of the leader. Whippy has fallen to 1.3 seconds off the back of the Haas, so it looks like it will be a 2-car battle for this win here. Ooh, Llama sideways, putting the power down, coming onto the main straight. He's going to hemorrhage a bunch of time, but he will still have DRS on Tome and can use that to close in a bit. Ozza is going to have DRS on Whippy at the same time. So once again, we may see 2 sets of battles for the podium positions.
They could go right down to the final lap. Meanwhile, Snake is on the back of Gusty. He'll be able to get past him on the main straight with the DRS.
Well, Gusty's going to have DRS though on Turbo, so that's going to make it a little bit harder for Snake to make it work. DRS is popped open now. Gusty looking at the outside of that Red Bull. Not really anywhere for Snake to go. And
The old...
Gusty's not able to complete the move. Whoa, look at Snake!
Bit optimistic, but he's lost a bit of time, like, on the exit due to running on the curb. Oh, Gusty to apply on the brakes quite quickly. Alice has got a 3-second time penalty. And Snake does get past Gusty.
Boss is going to be very upset with that because his time penalty has come because he's trying to not hit Whippy. Whippy is extremely, extremely slow on the run down Newcastle. And now Boothie has had an accident there. He has already reversed back onto the track and is getting back underway here. Meanwhile, on the lead, Llama is there. Less than 4/10. This might be 3/10. It's less than 3/10. It might be a quarter. And he's going to have DRS on the main straight as they're coming to the white flag. This might be the pass that decides the victory of the race. Neck and neck down the main straightaway right now between Llama and Tome. And Llama takes the top spot.
Like, it's very interesting as well, with like Llama making 4 pit stops this race, and that safety car really helped him to really get past Tome, Whippy, and get for the win. Yellow flag,
it's
sector
not over
2.
yet. Tome's gonna make another run at the end of this short back straightaway. Neck and neck once again. They're side by side. They're still side by side. They need to start figuring out who's gonna have the top spot now before they get in the castle.
Snakes made past the turbo for P8, so Renault are boosting their points tally. Final lap as well, it's just right down at the wire for the race lead.
Llama cuts off Tome in the corner right before Castle. Tome needs to make maximum focus. Yoyix has just DNF'd from the event, and that car is stopped on the main straight, but there's no one else coming. They should be able to remove him before the leaders get to the main straightaway. Tome has fallen off massively from the back of Llama. Tome needs to close in on Llama to try and get DRS on the main straight if he wants one chance, because he's only going to have one chance with the DRS.
This is crucial.
The gap's open to 1.1 seconds. It closed just a little bit there. Tome will have DRS, but he might have DRS, but he's almost a full second back. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Llama timed that perfectly, and he's going to win this race. Down the main straight, the DRS is open. Tome is closing fast, but it's going to be too little too late. Llama is your winner. Tome is going to be second. Third is going to be Whippy. I know Whippy got moved up, but that's not going to stick because I imagine Llama's 5-second time penalty will get removed. I'm telling you right now, Llama's more than likely going to win this race. I think that penalty is going to get removed post-race.
Obviously, we'll say about that in the next race, which will be at Bahrain. Oh, Alon Drake's just ran out of fuel, but he should get P11.
That's always frustrating.
Luckily, he had the gap. And this was definitely this was another chaotic race. Not as chaotic as the first race, but it was jam-packed with action.
Oh yeah. And the game thinks that Fritz is going to be driver of the day. Alright, well, we've got one of our 2 potential winners in the party. Llama, we still haven't been able to get in contact with Tome, but Llama, we don't know for sure. You may have won that race depending on penalty count back afterwards.
Oh.
I don't know if you can hear
Oh yeah, can I? Sorry, my mic was muted.
Okay, no, it's cool. It's not official. We do not know for certain, but there is a possibility, Llama, that you will win this race on penalty countback afterwards. But I am curious, what do you have to say about your race, considering you made, 4 or 5 pit stops during this event?
Well, the last 3 laps were very tense. Tom did well, considering he was a backup for Red Bull. He did very well. I had an incident with Tom on the first corner, but yeah, it's just trying to make clean move and try not to get wing damage.
Overall, I'll say this, that move you pulled off with excellent timing, and then down the main straight, coming to the white flag, and then the side-by-side you two did afterwards was absolutely fantastic to watch.
Thank you.
Also, real quickly, Tome, go ahead and include your audio. We have both you in here because we don't know who's actually going to be awarded the race victory after a penalty countback.
I've got no idea who's getting that.
But I do have to ask Tome, what do you have to say about your race, considering all the craziness that kind of went on around you throughout the day?
It was a bit similar to last week with Whippy. What was it? Dev last week, it was me and Whippy at the front. So, makes a change. Yeah, I was only standing anyway, so do what we can for Red Bull and see how that helps on the constructors. But yeah, I don't know who's going to get it, because penalty countback afterwards is... We'll find out in the next couple of days. But congrats to Llama as well, because considering the race that he's had, he's done beggar.
Alright, well, once again, congratulations on both of you, and thank you for putting on that fantastic show for the top spot over those last 2 laps. That was probably some of the best racing I've seen in XRL X3, period. But anyways, Torpedo, kind of start wrapping everything up. Looking back on this race, what do you think is the biggest takeaway we can have from today's event?
Basically just watch out for cars that have crashed in the pit lane, that have get reset on the track, because, well, in Constant Jet's case, I don't think he could have avoided, like, Rahul's car. But it was, yeah.
No, you do make a great point. I do not remember. What's the circuit for next week?
Bahrain, I think it is.
Alright, well, if it is Bahrain, on Saturday you can see on this channel at about the same time that it was today, the Dev race. Then at about 8 p.m. UK time, it will be the realistic length race. Then on the main channel, it will be at the same time X1. We will be covering X3 here. Same time, same channel next week, and then X2 is going to take place a little bit later today at Azerbaijan in about 55 minutes or so on the main channel. But until that time, I've been Saintlayer13, and I've been joined once again by Torpedo, unless you have anything else to say before we close up everything today.
No, I think it's pretty much all covered.
Alright, well, that's going to be the conclusion of our race, and a very, very crazy race it has been. Hopefully we'll have something a little bit more reasonable, but nonetheless exciting in a week's time. Thanks again once more to Extreme Racing League for letting me do the broadcasting. I look forward to seeing you all next week.